Hey, Nathan here, helping you become a better jungler. This is a challenger review over the North American server. This is the jungler for LCS team Dignitas. His name is Grig. This is a really good game highlighting the strength, like when Sett is actually good. I'm going to preface this by saying I do still think Sett is a better top laner, but this game in particular is actually a very scrappy, sloppy game. Like there's a lot about, I think there's like 670 kills or something like this in this, and Sett actually thrives in these type of games, especially against like heavy melee champs. I think that Sett's actually pretty good into Lee Sin. Camille, like Sett's a very good duelist. When he actually came out, I was playing Olaf into a Sett jungle, and he literally beat me 1v1. And Olaf just never loses 1v1s early game, and I was so surprised at his strength. There is some sort of outplay potential in terms of dodging his haymaker, but yeah, still definitely very good in terms of against melee champs. Like he isn't against LeBlanc this game, but I'll just be looking to ignore that if I'm Grig here. Like LeBlanc can easily cut a Sett. He doesn't really have any tools to get on opponents except for obviously his ultimate, but that's on a big cooldown. Okay, so let's start with Grig's Sett runes here. I'm just switching up these roles here so we can get a bit more clean. Okay, so going Conqueror, very standard. Triumph, Tenacity, and Last Stand. Last Stand is such a good rune on Sett, because the idea of Sett is you actually want to be baiting people towards you on low health. That's like your goal of Sett, and it works really well this game for Grig as well. Like, even though the enemy team might know, it's like, oh, Sett's low health. It's like, well, I'm going to try and kill him, but then you're walking onto him, and, you know, you can turn fights really easily being on, like, Grig actually has a couple of fights this game where he literally survives on, like, 10% health winning skirmishes. Tenacity is obviously very good in terms of, you know, he's versing LeBlanc, Camille, Nautilus. Just take the Tenacity here. The attack speed doesn't do too much justice for Sett. He's not going to be doing insane, like, auto-attacking in terms of fights. Fights will go pretty simple. Just get the shield, get his burst off, get his ult off, that's it. And he takes Border Walking and Nimbus Cloak here. I think these are the best runes to go for jungle Sett. The fact that you do want to be controlling River, and your skirmish and dueling potential is really strong in terms of, you know, if fights ever get to River, it helps you out. But the key one here is Nimbus Cloak, and Sett has a huge problem with getting on champs without his ultimate. So just getting this for when you smite, you can chase people down, you have that sort of potential. But again, the identity of Sett is forcing people to come to fight you. That's what Juggernauts are really good at, like the Garens, the Dariuses and stuff. You know, he's a good 1v2 champion. Okay, so let's take a look at the game here. Jumping into Grig's early game. So he actually gets invaded here, and he's forced to burn Flash, which really sucks, especially in terms of trying to get Scuttler and, you know, the early 2v2 skirmish. Like, that's not ideal at all. So forced to base now, he's on low health. Lucian gets a ward on his blues. That's going to give Grig some information on where the enemy jungler is going to be starting. Also, the jungler he's versing is the Cloud9 jungler here, so Blabber. Cloud9, I think, doing really well in the LCS. They're, like, undefeated, so this is a pretty good, like, sort of LCS jungler matchup. Alright, so we know that 100% the Lee Sin has started red, so they're probably going to just go trade sides of the map here, which will mean that Grig can pretty safely gank top if he's looking to do a level 3 jungle path. So it takes red here. Also starts Q. Sorry, no, he started W, not Q. Level 2 W, sorry, start with Q level 1, then go level 2 Q, but then he does look to max W as Sett first and then E. I'll also have the skill order in and his item build this game in my blog at nathanmott.gg with my full notes from this review. Alright, so he actually does Wolves there. Top is a little bit heavy trading here. The wave isn't actually going to be a good position for Grig to gank it. It is going to start pushing, especially if these guys keep fighting each other. Okay, so now Grig is going through top lane here, looking for potential gank on the Camille. We do see Lee Sin show up mid, but this is going to be very difficult to gank or even dive. Lee Sin shows bot side. So Grig just decides, well, I can't gank this really anymore. I mean, it is very difficult to dive a Camille with her E. Like, there's a lot of tools she can sort of use to, you know, avoid ganks, but also Echo doesn't have his ult yet, so two melee champs trying to kill a Camille under tower, like, that just sounds like a disaster. Takes top Rift Scuttler. And there's actually a lot of assist pings going up here. So they're actually looking to dive this. Okay, they actually messed that up really hard. So a bit of a foul gank there from... They really should have just waited for the wave. I'm not sure what they were doing here. Just come here. Grig should have just hit the wave. Like, there's no way Camille's going to be able to walk through here. So this is just not being patient. Be patient. No reason for this to have happened. They could have easily got this kill. Sett could have tanked the tower with his shield and then just backed off, and Echo could have finished him off. So a bit of a misplay there. And he got Echo killed. So definitely not ideal. Chucks a ward down here. Is he going to switch out to Red Sweeper Trinket? He does switch out to Red Sweeper Trinket. Gets his Red Smite. Again, Red Smite's very good on terms of just for extra damage. And again, the idea of Sett is force people to come to you. Like, you're just not going to be that strong getting on people. I mean, obviously, Nimbus Cloak that he's taken helps it a little bit. But I think it makes a lot of sense to go Red Smite on Sett, especially the fact that he's into like a Lee Sin here. Just gives him more 1v1 potential. Okay, so the wave is in not an ideal position there. They're probably just going to back off. But Lee Sin actually shows top. So maybe he still can look to gank this bot here. Takes his Krugs. Comes here. Actually doesn't even get the assist there. Helps these guys push out this wave. This is really good in terms of helping, like Lucian, reset here. He can go back to base safely. Ziggs is potentially going to be forced to stay on the map, which is really good in terms of momentum and tempo for them. Actually, no, he has decided to... actually, sorry, Ziggs dive. What am I talking about? But denies a lot of CS there. That's the point of that pushing in. Like, Ziggs going to lose a lot of CS. Obviously, Nautilus is coming here to soak it up. Alright, so Grig is looking on mid there, but again, I would not be ganking this LeBlanc at all. Clears his Raptors, which looks like the Lee Sin counter jungled. And now looking to take bot Rift Scuttler. So yeah, 3 points in W right now, and then we max E second. But you want to max the W as Sett. That's like your core ability, just that W is like, can do a lot of damage. And it's like sort of ranged ability as well. Okay, so actually potentially looking to steal his red there. But the thing about this is that, I mean, Echo's not in lane right now. Camille, I'm not sure what Camille... Do we see where Camille was earlier? So Camille is up top here. She's probably looking to base. But Lee Sin's going to be... Like, we don't know where Lee Sin is right now. Nautilus is obviously mid. I don't think we can take this. Like, Nautilus is here. They have priority. I mean, they can easily walk in to defend this. LeBlanc shows up. And actually, Camille comes down here. So Camille doesn't base. This is sort of just simple numbers disadvantage. We don't have information on where Camille went, so it always there's a risk trying to fight here or anything like that. Echo's in base. It's 3 versus 4, and they get punished for it, losing 3 members. Not ideal at all. Okay, so Grig is now building Cinderhog next item. And gets a control ward. Goes bot side for his red buff. It looks like Dragon is up as well, so he does need to be bot. And he is level 6, so he does have his ult, but he used it just before, which was sort of a bit of a waste based on, you know, them 3 still dying with the numbers disadvantage. Great, helps bot, gets the double kill for Lucian. So Lucian, very much in terms of right now, like bot lane's a very good potential win condition here. Again, LeBlanc's very hard to gank as a Sett, very slippery champion. Not really many tools to get on her, you know, past the ult, but then she can always use her passive to get away as well as her distortion. And yeah, so I'd say bot side right now, top maybe starting to get out of control, but again, Sett is still very good in terms of 2v2 him like melee champs, which is the Sett, the Camille and the Lee Sin. Okay, so takes his Raptors here, does his red, but his bot lane had to base, so they're going to lose Dragon for this. That was pretty good by Blabber, just identifying bot's gone. I'm just going to take Dragon. So they lose first Dragon. Not much more I'd say we can do here. Lucian's bot. This is 3 versus 4. Grig's getting caught, but gets out with the Thresh Lantern, but Lee Sin actually gets greedy there, and good hook by Thresh, so we can get the kill on him. Now looking to press the advantage, numbers disadvantage that the enemy team has. Kills the Nautilus with his ult. And looks to counter Jungle Blue. Is he going to do Gromp as well? No, he decides to not do Gromp. Potentially should have done Gromp there. Gromp is very good to deny, but I also understand this from a momentum standpoint. He wants to base, get his Cinderhulk item, potentially get some control wards. Yep, gets one control ward. Could he have bought two? He could have bought two. I think he definitely should have bought two on this base. Past 10 minutes, I love to buy two control wards every base. It's just so good for objectives like Rift Herald now. And just all around just river control. Okay, actually going on the Lee Sin here. So this is where we're going to see the power of Sett. I mean, look at this right now. Red Smite. He's just eating this Lee Sin alive. Literally like one shots him with that W. That was like, he's like on 30% health. That's just how much maxing W first does for you. And gets a double kill here. So this right here is just highlighting. Like, fights go like this with Last Stand, with Sett's kit. Really works well. So take Rift Herald off this. This is good in terms of getting the game back. I mean, Grig's 4-1-3 right now. Doing very well in terms of a scoreline. But does need to start looking to break some towers soon. So let's see what Grig does here. He does take Rift Herald now. Gromp bases. I assume he's looking to build Black Cleaver next. There is a skirmish coming down bot lane here, which doesn't look like it's going to work well. Lucian dies there, so he actually gives us a little shutdown goal there. I mean, that's, you know, obviously out of control for Grig, but really should have just tried to avoid fighting without, like, Sett and Lucian is the only two members that should be in fights all the time. The fact that they're strongest. So decides to just ditch bot. Bot's a lost cause now. They lost that skirmish there. And then gets a really nice ult off to kill the Lee Sin Blubber. So comes here, gets to get mid priority. I mean, he's obviously coming to help get his Thresh as well. Kills Lee Sin. Now it's chasing down the Nautilus. Gets the kill on him. Now looking on LeBlanc, but again, I think this is very difficult. LeBlanc just chains him. That was an invisible chain for some reason. But she can just get away. So I like it. Just back off here. Grig, nothing really we can do here. Dragon is coming up soon. So potentially looking to start set that up. So while waiting for Dragon, just comes here. Takes Krugs. Looks like the Echo is going to die mid, unfortunately. Now's looking to potentially 2v2 these guys pushing in this lane. Alright, so look at this. He's literally going 2 versus 3. Like, he's just going straight onto the Nautilus. He doesn't even have ult here. I mean, obviously Lucian's here now, which is great. They're fighting with their two strongest members. This is what you want to be doing. But, like, that's the shield, the W from... If you get good Ws off a Sett, like, it's just devastating. Super OP ability. And Grig pushes out the Camille. So this looks like a pretty free dragon now. Zig is trying to zone them, but they do have 4 and a... Like, Thresh technically has to base here, but it looks like Lee Sin is actually trying to steal this dragon. So Grig comes here, takes it off him, kills him as well. Pops Rift Herald bot, going to break their first tower of the game. So this is really good. They did lose the top tower. Like, Camille's doing very well in terms of top lane here. They definitely need a tower. I think this Rift Herald decision is the right move. Let's just start breaking these outer towers so we can start snowballing this game. Takes top Rift Scuttler, Raptors. Can he buy Black Cleaver soon? Yeah, okay, so he's looking to just buy Black Cleaver now. Should be able to get it now. Yep. Goes back to base. Gets his Cleaver. Can he get control wards? He is going to wait for control ward. I think it's just good to just sell refillable potion here. Just get 2 control wards. I don't think you really need it for sustaining the jungle anymore at, 16, 17 minutes. But, I mean, you still can keep it. I mean, obviously it's going to help you if you're low health in a skirmish or leaving a skirmish. But 2 control wards are very important at this stage of the game. Again, just to help you get river control, control objectives. Okay, so comes mid, gets some priority, helps Lucian get this tower, but moving on to bot now. Bit of a skirmish going on here. They're very overextended. This tower's not even gone yet. Should be able to come up and clean up some kills. Kill the Lee Sin. Okay, it's definitely the fake LeBlanc there. He does have red buff, so, you know, this is sort of going to help him chase him down. And really good flash Q by Zed there, gets the kill. So they win that skirmish 3-4-2, I think it was. Not exactly any sort of objectives to get down here. So this is the thing, I mean, they're going to be able to get mid tower here, which is good. But the thing, again, fighting around where you don't really want to be, like, technically top side of the map is sort of the objectives right here, breaking this and Rift Herald. Like, it's just sort of an example there. Like, you know, you can fight as much as you want here, get some kills, sure, you get the gold, but you're not exactly getting objectives from it. But they do end up getting mid tower, so this is still good for them. Grig tries to go for a flank play. He doesn't have ult. And LeBlanc and Camille's dead for a bit, so they might actually be able to get this second tier 2 tower. Great, alright, kill the Camille. But they do definitely need to back out now. The enemy team's back alive. Camille's back alive. That's the key one. She's pretty strong right now. She has Triforce and a Tiamat. These guys are all low. Definitely need to start running for the hills. And they're actually getting mid tower off here, off this, and full mid priority. Okay, this is actually not a good situation for them. I think it might have been a bit greedy trying to get this Rift Scuttler. Yeah, Camille and LeBlanc are very good at chasing. So Grig actually gets the ult off, uses it defensively to try and escape. And they actually all die here. So this is not ideal, especially with Baron coming up. Okay. They might actually lose Baron off this. I mean, overstaying can just lose you games like that. Like, Camille and LeBlanc are very good chasers. Okay, what happens here? Echo. I mean, yeah, I think they lose Baron off this if Echo just dies. Lucian can't exactly contest this, I don't think. They have no smite. These guys are still in base. Oh, maybe. Well, this is really close, but unfortunately Grig isn't there to smite. Alright, so they are pushed back off the map now. Dragon is an objective they can still look in to get. Grig decides to come here, counter jungle red. I think this is the right move, but we do need to be looking to get this dragon. This will be their second dragon of the game. Lee Sin's still dead for some time. Yeah, this looks like it's free dragon. They have control here. Got some vision. Okay, so they are looking to fight here. Echo is here, so this is another potential 4 versus 5 fight that you potentially don't want to be taking. You've got the dragon, just back off. Grig's entire jungle's up. I think he should just be looking to clear that. Okay, so he uses ult to kill the Camille there. I mean, Lucian is pretty fed, so they are still doing pretty well in these fights. I mean, Sett and Lucian are sort of the go-to, but unfortunately they do kill the Lucian. Grig's forced to burn his flash defensively, but Echo is getting a lot for this top, so definitely a good trade there. I think that's fine. Dragon and tower, tier 2 tower for just one tower there. Blood was actually trying to even 1v1 Grig here, but his entire team is here. This is not going to work well for him. So this is great. This is sort of denied their Baron. So even though they got an early Baron there, they really haven't done anything with it. A lot of members have lost it at this stage. And I would as well leave my red for Lucian. I think he definitely deserves it. He's 10 and 4. Definitely want to be giving your AD carry red buffs at this stage of the game. They are more useful with it as a range champion versus a melee champ. Takes top Rift Scuttler. Pushes out this top wave here. And looks to base. So he did have a Black Cleaver. Looking to potentially build... I think he builds Stone Plate next. So what is he running base for? Okay, actually he's looking to just buy an outright Stone Plate. Gets that. Which again is really good. You go in, use your ult, do all your damage, then just get that tank stats instantly. You will become very, very hard to deal with the enemy team. Wait for your cooldown to come back up, and then you can do another rotation of your abilities. Okay, so the team's actually fighting here. 2 members die. Baron is not up, so they might not lose too much for it. But Grig actually looks like he's going to die here. So this is actually not ideal. They could be losing mid inhibitor. I mean, this was just his Grig's team fighting without him, simply. Again, can't be... Every time they don't fight with Lucian Sett, things go south for them. Oh, but they sort of overstayed mid here. Zed's doing a lot of work. Actually, yeah, Zed's actually getting pretty strong here. They force him off, so they don't lose anything off that fight, which is good, except for Camille taking tier 2 bot. But they can really put the pressure on there now. So this is really good. Baron is coming up in about 2 minutes or so, I think. Dragon is also up. So yeah, Baron's coming up in a minute, sorry. And we do have Dragon coming up. So this is really good that they've killed Lee Sin there. A bit of an overstay from the enemy team. Let's see how they capitalize on this. So, does some counter jungling. Takes Wolves. Get the kill on Norlis. Great. This should be 3 objectives here. They are pinging Dragons. Baron, they do want to get this first. Moving topside, getting full control. This is going to make getting Baron much easier. And it's going to really put on pressure on the enemy team. Grig is trying to look for a potential flank with his ultimate, but, you know, mid-wave's all the way up here, so... Bit of a team fight coming up here. Sett's getting kited a little bit, but he's waiting for his ult. Is he going to use ult here? Still saving ult. If they kill Lee Sin here, this is a free Baron. Oh, so sorry, not Blubber. Grig actually holds his ult this fight. Doesn't even decide to use it on the Ziggs. Okay, so they kill 4 of the enemy team. They only lose their Zed for it. Going to be looking to take Baron now. But they are, yeah, this is actually very difficult. Against the Ziggs, this is where Ziggs is good. I mean, these guys are all pretty low health still. Like, Ziggs must die before they try and actually kill this Baron. Yeah, they're just going to have to back off here, unfortunately. They still probably won't lose it. Like, LeBlanc is 16 seconds here, but they're probably going to lose Dragon for this. The enemy team is pinging it. Okay, and Sett actually holds his ult there really good. And so look at that Baron smart. That's actually, so this is the power again of Sett in these skirmishes. Just baiting people in, surviving on like 10% health. But yeah, really good smart there on the Baron to survive. That was really good by Grig. But it looks like the enemy team is on Baron. So he's got in a Giant spot next. I'm not sure what he's looking to build there. Doesn't have any 2 controllers from Baron. So the rule of thumb here is that I mean, ideally you want 2 controllers, but if the item is more than like 750, 800 gold, it is better just to get the item itself. Like 1,000 gold worth of stats is good. But, you know, controllers are still really important, but that's sort of the rule of thumb. Anything under 750 gold, don't buy it. Buy 2 controllers, but if it is over, just get the stats. So they do lose Baron there, but LeBlanc gets hooked by the Thresh. And they kill Lee Sin here. Great. So this should be a pretty free Baron for Grig's team. Like, even though Ziggs is up, the fact that they're all pretty much full health right here, I think this should be Baron. Like, let's go Baron. Come on, team. Actually, no. Lucian has DC'd. Can no longer do Baron. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. He must come back, though. I would assume potentially just a small disconnect. Yeah, he does come back. Grig uses this time just to clear Wolves, Raptors. Clears some vision bot side here. Potentially want to be saving Sweeper Trinket for Baron. Like, there's not really too much point sweeping bot side, but I mean, you know, denying vision is denying vision. And I guess Thresh still has Sweeper Trinket, so yeah, so they use Sweeper here on top side. Grig's collapsing on this Lee Sin and Nautilus here. And this should be Baron if the team stops fighting. I mean, the thing is, actually, if everyone's not on this, like, Grig can't just solo this. So this is actually a pretty slow Baron. A lot of really just not fighting. Like, this is just, right now, just split decision making. Like, there's nothing really Grig can do. I mean, he can't jump over walls. This is very, very difficult for him. Just needs to back off. So yeah, a bit unfortunate here. And now getting chased down by a Camille. Okay, so this is where Sett strength really shows. So use his stone plate to actually survive there. Sort of just sitting back, waiting. Lee Sin is coming on the flank. W's the wrong person, but they do get the kill on LeBlanc there. And again, look at this shield. Like, this is where Lee Sin just gets baited. And Grig continues to survive. They're going to get Baron off this. Again, perfect example of where Sett is really strong in those sort of type of skirmishes, where Last Stand really helps you as well, that rune-in precision tree. Baron gone. Great. Alright, so Dragon is coming up soon. Grig's looking for some fights. I mean, he's the 2 levels up on Lee Sin right now, so he's definitely very strong right now. Uses the shield again, just baiting people in, getting these kills. This is where Sett's really strong. Right, this is sort of the downside of Sett. He can't exactly jump over walls, but Zed goes over. Gets the kill on Lee Sin there. They're sort of just ditching, so, I mean, this is definitely the right move. Don't worry about Dragon right now. I mean, it's not like it's 4th Dragon. It's not too important. Use the fact that Nautilus and Lee Sin's dead to just siege this. Let's look to get mid inhib. And if we keep fighting, we could potentially keep more kills. We can just end the game here. But Nautilus is back up. Decide to play it safe. Just back off. Grig, unfortunately, can't jump over walls. Is he actually going to die here? Flash ults the Camille. And is constantly surviving again on low health. Stone plate working really well for him. And they actually kill a bunch there, and this looks like it's game over. Okay, so that wraps up this review here. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about Sett jungle. Again, I think that Sett can potentially work in the jungle, but I think it's a very niche pick again if you're versing a lot of melee champs. But I do think, again, he's still very good in the top lane position. You can check out my full notes from this review, as well as Grig's full rune set, skill order, and item build in my notes over my blog, nathanmott.gg. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.